This is Land of Havilah, Psalm 28. It's 9 verses. By David, "To you, Yahweh, I call. My rock, don't be deaf to me, lest if you're silent to me, I would become like those who go down into the pit. Hear the voice of my petitions when I cry to you, when I lift up my hands toward your most holy place. Don't draw me away with the wicked, with the workers of iniquity who speak peace with their neighbors, but mischief is in their hearts. Give them according to their work and according to the wickedness of their doings. Give them according to the operation of their hands. Bring back on them what they deserve. Because they don't respect the works of Yahweh, nor the operation of his hands, he'll break them down and not build them up. Blessed be Yahweh, because he has heard the voice of my petitions. Yahweh is my strength and my shield. My heart has trusted in him, and I'm helped. Therefore my heart greatly rejoices. With my song I will thank him. Yahweh is their strength. He's a stronghold of salvation to his anointed. Save your people and bless your inheritance. Be their shepherd also, and bear them up forever." Comment as usual will be brief. We could always say more. We just comment on what jumps out at us. If we were to come back tomorrow to the same psalm, other things would jump out. But for today in Psalm 28, Yahweh's David's rock in verse 1. He can count on Yahweh. He draws strength from Yahweh. David's consistently victorious because of Yahweh. He's always up because of Yahweh. If he's ever down, he gets back to his position on the rock, which is Yahweh. He called Yahweh his strength in Psalm 18:1. So it's immensely helpful and reassuring to us that God is our rock. And this is another psalm where there's some apprehension at first, but in the end there's resolution that Yahweh has everything covered, that there was no reason to be upset in the first place. In verse 1, David's apprehensive Yahweh might be deaf to his prayer. That won't happen. Yahweh's ear isn't dull that it can't hear. Isaiah 59:1. And Psalm 34:17, the righteous cry and Yahweh hears. And 1 John 5:14, quote, "If we ask anything according to his will, he hears us." In verse 1, David thinks he might go down to the pit. As Jesus pointed out in Matthew 12:11, it's a given any man would pull his sheep out of a pit. So we must figure God's more reliable than men. If men will pull their sheep out, surely God will pull his sheep out. In verse 3, David thinks God might draw him away with the wicked, meaning sweep him away with the wicked. But Abraham asked God rhetorically, "Will you consume the righteous with the wicked? May it be far from you to do things like that, to kill the righteous with the wicked, so that the righteous should be like the wicked. May that be far from you. Shouldn't the judge of all the earth do right?" Genesis 18:25. God answered Abraham as Abraham expected by not sweeping away the righteous in Sodom with the wicked. Therefore God will not sweep away the righteous with the wicked in the future. In verse 4, David's concerned God might not give the wicked what they deserve, but Proverbs 11:21 says, "Most certainly the evil man will not be unpunished." And the same in Nahum 1:3, Yahweh will by no means leave the guilty unpunished. Then the resolution to all of David's concerns comes in verses 5 to 8. David's not worried about anything anymore. Yahweh will break down the wicked. Yahweh has heard the voice of David's petitions. David's feeling light as a feather. Each of his apprehensions was unfounded. Yahweh is his strength, his shield. He trusts in him, and Yahweh is the stronghold of David's salvation. We shouldn't come to God with our worries as David came and afterward walk away with the same worries. Whenever David came to God with worries, he always walked away with his worries lifted. We should present our concerns to God, then walk away glad, rejoicing, and singing, knowing that God heard, that justice will be done, that he's our rock, our strength, our shield, our Savior from the pit, our shepherd, our salvation, and that he'll bear us up forever, as the psalm says. Psalm 29 is next.